mystery and horror, the air itself is filled with monsters.
Children of the night, what music they make. He's alive! He's alive!
Well, hello, all you monster fiends, and thank you for joining us for another deep dive, factoid-filled episode exploring Hollywood's most famous monsters. I am your mistress of ceremonies, Sam, and I am joined as always by Dan from Bleed and Marvelous. Say hello, Dan.
My father said men will be more efficient if they have hammers and screwdrivers instead of fingers.
Wise words. Wise
Apparently.
words.
Apparently.
Hi.
Hiya.
Oh, welcome to a brand new episode of the Monsters Up North podcast. This week. Yeah. No, do you know what I'm saying that? I actually really enjoyed it. There's a lot that I took away from this.
It's a weird one.
It's
But
something.
it's one of those films where I feel like I have been the only person that's seen this on the planet, right?
Yes.
And
Because I have mentioned it to a few people and they went, Frankenstein, what?
yes, and for years I thought I was going insane, and I kept checking it was a real film because you have that moment where you think,
Have I made
did
this
I
up?
dream it? Is it something else? I don't know how to explain this to people.
Yeah, yeah, that's the look I got off a lot of people.
Yes.
Right, I'm going to do the disclaimer, and then I am going to attempt to do the intro, because holy shit, for a dyslexic, these names are really bad. So, everything discussed in today's episode is our opinions and our opinions alone, and if you'd like to discuss anything from today's episode, please come and join us on our socials, or you can come and join us in the comment section, where we can have an open discussion. But what we won't have is anyone coming for us and telling us our opinions are wrong, because we can all agree to disagree in fandom. So, let's keep it fun. We keep it kind and keep the toxic behaviour out of horror.
Don't be a dick.
I didn't say nerdism. I said horror. My goodness, okay. Also, did you see last week's episode?
I didn't, but I saw the clip.
The Don't Be a Dick came up.
I didn't know he put it in the episode.
Well done, Chris. Yeah, you got the Don't Be a Dick come up.
Yes, see, this is what happens when you have an AVT, an audio visual tit.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed. Like I say, that's not my nickname for him. He called himself that. I just want to make that very clear.
That is true. Right. Are you ready for this?
No.
Frankenstein's Army is the 2013 found footage horror film directed by Richard Rappaport, written by Chris W. Mitchell and Miguel Tierra Flores.
Exactly that, what you said, yes.
Exactly what I said.
All of that.
I'm so sorry, people. An international co-production of the United States, the Czech Republic, and the Netherlands, the film is set in the Eastern Front of World War II, as seen from the point of view of a Red Army team. In the film, Soviet troops invading Germany encounter undead mechanical soldiers created by a mad scientist descended from Victor Frankenstein. What is dead may never die, as Monsters Up North brings you Frankenstein's Army.
We sure do.
I swear What is Dead May Never Die is from Game of Thrones.
I mean, this was 2013? Yes, 2013. So Game of Thrones has started at that point, hadn't it?
Yeah, but also the book is like, you know.
Yeah, the book, obviously the book was longer. I'm never 100% sure if if what's in the book puts it onto the screen to, the word accurate with some stuff. So
it's the what made is the drowned, it's the Iron Islands banner thingy. Do you know, like winter is coming is this? Yeah, what is dead may never die, and it was an episode from season 2, episode 3.
Well, that would make a lot of sense because Richard, who directed, screenplayed, designed all the creatures, did absolutely everything for this film. He was a screenplay artist for Game of Thrones.
Ah.
So
Oh, okay.
plagiarism may have taken place. I don't know.
A little bit. I mean, that is just the tagline.
Yeah.
That
I
is
mean,
just
it's
the
nothing.
tagline.
I mean, this film was never going to get to Game of Thrones heights.
No, however, I have to give massive, huge props to the cinematography in this movie. What a stunningly beautiful color palette that is used, and absolutely breathtaking scenery in there.
It's how to do this on a shoestring budget. I mean, I
Mhm.
say a shoestring budget. This is still a hell of a lot of money to you or me, but in movie terms, it's nothing. It was 1.5 million to make this film.
Ah,
So we're talking dollars. So in UK money, that's probably about 1.2 million, 1.1 million on
that's not a
exchange.
bad. That's not a bad. The thing is, though, I didn't expect the level of makeup in this movie. Didn't expect it at all.
And that's what I wanted you to see. It wasn't the
Mm,
movie itself,
I
because
got it. I got it.
the movie itself there's not really a lot of substance to the actual.
Mm-mm. Very Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, and then it takes the twist and you go, oh.
Oh, brilliant jump scare in right at the beginning, by the way. Excellent jump scare. But yes, the minute I saw the makeup on it, I went, oh, okay, I get it. I get this. And especially the monsters and robotics and yeah, it was I gotta say, I actually really enjoyed this. I didn't come away from it. Actually, at the end I came away going, who's holding the camera? But
Yeah,
before that, I was like, oh shit. Shit. It was
it's
good.
loosely based off. Now a
Do
lot of
not
people.
say real events.
No, possibly. I mean, they did some dark, nefarious nonsense, the schmartsies, didn't they?
Mm,
So it's loosely based off a game
makes
called
sense.
Wolfenstein.
Oh, okay. Should have known that. Never played it, but should have
No.
known that.
So it is loosely based off of that. There's been some interviews with Richard where he's denied it, and then there's been other interviews where he's agreed with it. So, but people are basically saying it's loosely based on that. Well, the original screenplay was for the original movie that they were intending to write that got shelved and then got turned into this.
Mhm.
So the original movie was going to be a 60s parody of a beach movie, and the
Mm.
monsters were going to be sea Nazis monsters. So, hence why in this you see a lot of lobster claws and tentacles and things like that, because the monsters that were designed were reused from the purpose of the original
Yeah,
concept of them all being beach Nazi monsters to now being World War II. I don't
yeah,
know what monsters.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so that's why you get a lot of that kind of crossover. But yeah, Wolfenstein was really big at the time because it was an FPS, first
I
person
remember it.
shooter. And you get a lot of that element within this being found footage. It also does feel like an FPS in some aspects when you're watching it. So like for those of you who haven't seen this, if you watch Doom, the movie Doom, you have that
Mm,
whole section where it's like you're playing the game.
yeah,
Um, and it's very much like you have small little bursts like that, but without all the music and all
yeah.
the stuff. It feels very much like that. You get the blood splatter on the camera, and there's just elements where it's very.
Massively. And there was some parts of it that really came like from cutscenes that I remember from Evil Within. Especially when you're having to be like stealthy and there's like these creatures kicking about and you've got like, yeah, I got a lot of Evil Within vibes there. And that is a game I have completed because I am not a completionist when it comes to video games. Um, so that is one I have done. I don't know, there was just, I didn't really know how to take it at first.
Yeah.
I like a found footage film. It did not feel like found footage. And I don't know if that's because you already planted the seed that it was very first person video game style. But I appreciated it the more it went on, and it was more to do with the sound effects than anything else.
Yeah.
It really put you in the place you were meant to be. Hated the characters, by the way.
Oh, I think that was the whole intention. And the thing is,
Awful people.
this cast, right? I
Uh,
don't think they've ever spoken to a person with a Russian
no,
accent in their entire life, because
no.
technically, what the the base plot for this is a bunch of Russian soldiers are going to a rescue mission to retrieve something or find another group that they're looking for. And they've been sent by Mother Russia to find them and bring them back. And they're being documented by Dmitri, who is following them around with a cine camera. So that's the premise at the beginning. Now, you've got Sergei, who's the Polish guy. You've got Vasily, which is the violent, moody guy. Oh God, you've got Sasha, who's the little fuck up that follows him around. And so
Ivan, Alexei.
Yeah, Ivan and Alexei, and we're going for the key Russian boys' names in this one.
Oh, massively.
But the accents, I feel like I need to talk about the accents. The guy who played the captain, Mikhail, I think he's Welsh. So there was this weird Welsh Russian crossover with his accent. Then you had Lockstock Russian, which made me laugh, which was Ivan. When he walks in,
stop laughing.
He turned around and he goes to him, "Look, I'm going in there." It's like you didn't even make the effort.
No, no. There's some of them who really didn't. I know you were pointing out ones earlier, and I was like, I swear I've just heard a Cockney.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% it was him. It was just the way we started calling him Lockstock Russian because it was just the way it was like, can everybody just stop getting shot? It was it's just so bad. But yeah, and then the others, you could hear them phasing in and out of the Russian accent. I'm guessing it's because they didn't have a lot of time to shoot and there was no real
in the
training for Russian accents.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of storytelling, all you have to know is that these men are assholes, and what's going to happen to them is deserved.
Oh, all the way along. Yeah, it's a basically what they want you to hate them, but they want you to be immersed in what they're doing.
Well, you've got to be able to follow them.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I really wish we spent more time with Victor than we did with anything else, because I wanted to see more of his lab and his techniques and the fact that he was chopping and changing brains. And he's going, oh, there's too much of this one, too much in this one, and just taking bits out. Lovely.
Yeah, it was like it got really good. Like again, it's a film of two halves. So you're being introduced at the beginning to the war band or whoever they are, whatever their company, and you're finding out that Dimitri's an inconvenience, and because he's following him around with the camera, Sasha keeps tripping over his own feet all the time. He's the goofy little just help the cameraman and stay out of our way. And then you've got the 4 or 5 main guys who are all the big, you know, the infantry kind of dudes that do all the raping and pillaging. And you're sort of like, what's going on here? And you're watching it, and then you think, oh, just as you're sort of thinking, okay, I get where they are. They burst into that farmhouse and then they kill all the kids. They kill the wife, and I think one of them starts raping her. You can't really see, but it's so far back.
So
it's not necessarily even insinuated, but you kind of get it's a possibility because you just see him jump on her, but you don't know what happened. And then it cuts to them leaving the farm, all ratted, pissed out of their tree, and collapsing in a heap somewhere down the road in a bush. And I was thinking to myself, well, if you've killed them all, you might as well have stayed in the fucking farm overnight. But you know,
I do all that then to do get that.
And then they literally wake up because a distress signal's being played over the radio. So they finally wake up, and I think Sergei's the comms man.
Yeah.
So he's trying to work out what they're saying, and there's like this, I think his coordinates are being like talked over and over and over, and it's like he's like, right, I think we have to go and find our way, and they're all really hungover and feel like shit
and don't particularly want to, but they are going to investigate. Is this where we first see some form of what? Because I was like, is this a zombie film?
Well, I think the first thing they come across when they're getting nearer and nearer to this place is the skeleton with it's got like a horse's head, human torso,
that's
human
right.
arm,
Yes,
and a tail, and it's just a skeleton laying in the bush, and like, Okay, what's that? And
But
they're
there's nothing really like focused on. Like you could barely see you could see it wasn't a human skull,
yeah,
but you couldn't really because it was so not distorted, but like I had to like
yeah,
really look.
yeah. Because I don't think they want you to focus on it too much. They want you to look at it and go, "That's not
Mm,
right," and then
the
that's
fuck's
it. And
that?
then they flick back again, and you're like, "Yeah, that's definitely not right." But you still don't get enough time to sort of really take in what you've seen. You just
Mm-mm.
know that's not right. And then they come across that soldier that they think is dead with the mechanical hand that's just
Oh, that's right. That's
yeah,
right.
that one.
That was the
And then
eye.
yeah, and then they flip him over because they're trying to they're taking the gun.
Dimitri does. Dimitri's the one who's intrigued by him.
Yeah, because they take the gun and they're looking for like anything else on his body. Um, and when they flip him over, his eyeball goes just.
It's the one time and the eyeball didn't freak us out because I was like, okay. I think that's like the first jump scare. That was like the one that really got us. Because
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. When he like pops back out again.
And then that's when they finally make it to where they think this signal's coming from, which is a church. And
Yeah.
so they're at this point, you just see them going over hills and dales and scrubland, and they're making their way to this
Making
place.
my
And
way downtown.
yes, that. Um, and when they find this place, it's not what they think, and they just sort of go down. And that's when they find the pile of Kentucky Fried Nuns, isn't it?
Yes, the massacred nuns. I love the fact that they take one look at them, then take a look at another one and go, I think it's nuns.
It's a bonfire of nuns. I mean, there's
Would
no way of
I mean
mistaking the
we'll
fact that
give it away.
all the nuns.
All the nuns?
Yeah, I mean, I will say I don't think script writing was necessarily his most
No,
strongest point.
it wasn't, but it wasn't terrible to be honest. And let's be honest, I don't think I was there for the dialogue.
Mm-mm.
They could have said anything to be honest.
Yeah, it was. This is where you start seeing that the special effects is more than just a couple of cuts and
Yeah,
scrapes and stuff like that. So
yeah.
you're like, okay, right. That's a lot of burnt corpses in a pile, and then you realise that one of the nuns is still alive, and
Not for
then
long though.
no, because Mikhail goes and puts her out of her misery. But I would like to say, look, now this is 2013. I am guessing there was a bit of CGI that was allowed to be taking place in 2013. We're only talking 13 years ago, so it's
Ugh,
not
that's
forever.
a horrible thing, but okay.
So it's not forever ago, but the other possibility is we could have splashed to a little bit of fake blood at this point, because God knows there was enough in this film.
Yeah.
What pissed me off about this bit was when he kills the nun and puts the knife into the side of her neck. He pulls it out and there's not a stitch of blood on that knife. It was cleaner than the cleanest knife I've ever seen in my entire life. And I was like,
You could have
really?
used it to spread butter.
Continuity, my friends.
Yeah.
Let's have another look at that. But then once they've seen that, I'm right, they walk around and they notice it's kind of like there's definitely something that's going on.
There's
And it
something in the middle of the floor.
and they don't know whether it's happening or what's occurring, because you've got like the lorries that are sort of smoking that are sat there, and
Yeah.
there's like it's just like it's chaos, but it's quiet chaos. It's
It's
really
quite yeah, there's you could hear a pin drop to be honest. But this is where they activate the Zombot.
is
Now
it
this impressed me, I'm not gonna lie.
is this before they meet Victor and his rabbits, or is this after?
This is before.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, this is before. Or yeah, sure of it.
Yeah,
Because
because I
this
get confused at this bit. I couldn't remember whether that was before or after.
the reanimated corpse with mechanical shit spilled into it, which I did not get to start with. The one now with this movie, there is not a great deal of fact
No.
or knowledge about it. So I could not go in and look at, certain aspects of it. But one thing that I do know is the shooting of the monsters is all inspired by the thing.
Nice.
Yeah. He took inspiration from the thing in how Rob Bottin put his monsters on screen.
Yeah.
I did not get any hint of that during this.
No, that's not where my mind went. So I can only say that if that was his intent, I was
Nice.
too busy looking at what was occurring, what the difference was with this monster to the next monster to the next monster. I wasn't really, because there is a lot
There
of
is a lot.
monsters.
Actually, I have a list of all the monsters.
Bloody hell!
I have the machete workers,
Right?
the propeller head,
Yes.
the razor teeth.
Right. Yeah.
Like that one.
Is
Was
that the
like,
Iron Maiden one? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah. The dragger,
Of course.
hammerhead,
Yeah.
literally has a hammer for a head. Mosquito man.
Yes. See, that's the one that's on the front of this.
Do you know what? Visually looks absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
Like that is stunning work. But the fact that it's Mosquito Man,
I know it's not
it
threatening.
just takes it away. And that's it. That's a list of the monster creations in this. Honestly, the 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 creativity that has gone into these, I think, makes this movie incredibly special.
Yeah, this is one person's what do they call it? Swan song. He's not dying, but this is his
Magnum opus?
that's
No.
the one. Yeah,
Is that
that
it?
is it feels like in saying that because he's had a very, very successful film come out recently, which
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't even associate with this film in a million years. He did Infinity Pool with Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth. Jamesy. Yeah, he did Infinity Pool. He directed Infinity Pool. Now that film in itself is weird, but you would never ever sit that next to this. They are so far away from each other. It's insane. So you know he's had this in his head, and he just needed to get this out. It needed to be a thing, and he made it a thing because he got the backing, he got the budget, and he made it a thing, and it's out there.
It's been the like I say, there's not a great deal of information when it comes to this movie, but there was one thing I read earlier was this was literally his brainchild.
Yeah.
Like this is something he'd been thinking of as a child and looking at monster movies and being completely and utterly fascinated and enamored by Frankenstein, the story. Again, like Del Toro wanting to have like not his version, but just like inspiration from and the idea of, well, if Victor Frankenstein can do this, what can I do in a different scenario? Um, the last bit of information that I have on this is ah oh sorry, I've got two. Was the working title was called Worst Case Scenario.
Yeah.
A lot of the robotic monsters featured in this movie would later be inspired. You can tell I've not finished this video game,
Yep.
because I'm in the middle of it right now. Would later inspire the design of enemies in Resident Evil Village.
Yep.
Propellerhead.
Yep.
You can clearly tell I've not finished it.
I think that's the thing. That's the thing about pop culture. And the thing is, this guy, Richard, he's not precious about it because if you look at all the stuff he's storyboarded for or screenplayed for or done, like he has got a hell of a back catalogue for being behind the scenes, not being
Mhm.
the director or not being a producer or not being creative, mastermind. It's screenplays and it's storyboarding he's most famous for. So when you look at what he's worked on as those artists, you can see how he's not precious about like
No.
the themes and the things he does. However, there was an interview with him where when someone said about like how people, they can see the reference in Resident Evil Village, he was like, great, have at it. I don't give a shit.
I
I'm
love
so
that.
glad that
Yeah,
someone, that they're using something and I can look at that and go,
that's mine. That's mine. Yeah,
it's
I
brilliant.
love that.
Yeah,
I
he
do
said,
like
I don't
that.
need the money. I don't need the anything about it. I'm just glad someone thought it was good enough to go in.
Yeah. Oh no, I really like that. Going back to the story, the Zombot
Yeah.
awakens. It's spectacular, mind.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. This is like my first incarnation of it. All right, okay. It's not zombie. It's, well, it is, but it's something a little extra.
It's the it's got like a, I want to say, a plug into its head. Like there's like an electricity plug right into the center of the head. And I think
Honestly,
it's like a naked woman.
yeah.
I'm not entirely sure because you don't see any genitals.
No, you can't, to be honest, you really can't make out anatomy. You can't really make out what it is you're actually looking at.
Yeah.
Your eyes are quite conflicted and going, what the fuck is that? You
Except
know
they've
it's
got high heels.
mechanical.
Yeah, and it's got high heels on, and that's about it.
Yeah, you know it's mechanical because you can hear it. And this is what I really loved about this movie was the sounds in it that really helps you in where you're at and in
Yeah.
the story.
It's industrial sounds.
Oh
It's like
yes.
clanking and
I
like,
love
yeah.
industrial noises. Love them.
Yeah. They don't know what to make of this thing, do they? And they're
No.
far too eager to play with it. It's just like,
Yeah.
no, leave
It
that
does
be.
it does kill someone.
Mm. Mikhail, I think it is the
Yeah.
captain, isn't it?
The captain disembowels him.
Oh, I tell you what, that did make me giggle when I saw. And okay, yeah, that makes me a sick individual. But when you see the intestine trail, and it goes back to him, I was like, I thought it was the electricity cable at first. And then I
Oh right,
realized no,
okay.
it's his intestine. I thought, and I started laughing to myself because I was like, "Oh, that's not the electricity cable. No, that's his intestines." And it just, I don't know why. It was just so stupid, but it just made me laugh because it gets a bit chaotic in some of these fight scenes. You can see what's happening, but there's so much
So
happening.
much.
You don't know where to look, so you have to watch it a couple of times to get
Yeah, and
everything
it
in.
doesn't help that your background color is the same as your uniform color.
Correct. Yeah,
That
it's
doesn't
very
that yeah,
cavalier.
there's no contrast for standing out.
Mm.
So your background color is muddy grays and greens and dirty. Your uniforms are any fucking different.
Yeah,
So it is quite hard for your eyes to negotiate what it is you're actually looking at.
yeah.
But yeah, they kill the guy. They kill what do you call him?
The Zombot.
Main the
Oh,
zombot. Yeah,
Mikhail. Yeah,
Mikhail.
Mikhail,
Well,
the captain.
Mikhail gets killed, and the captain. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. The zombot then gets killed by everyone else, and
Sergey.
Sergey is like, right, I'm taking charge now.
And was
He was a
it?
horrible piece of shit.
Yeah, Vasily is the violent, horrible one, and they were all like, "No, we want the nice Polish guy to take over. We
Yeah,
don't like you as much." And he's like, "But
no.
he's Polish. He's a dog," and blah blah blah, Russian, Polish nonsense. Um, but it turned out that Sergei had only entered the army because his family had been taken hostage or something by the Russians, and he had to pay his penance to get them back. This was Sergei. This isn't Dimitri's story. Dimitri's story is very similar but totally different at the same time.
Mm.
And so,
Little snake that is
oh,
Dimitri.
he is a naughty boy. And this is where they finally go into the next room, and that's where they meet the servant. And you see all these rabbits, and they get quite excited because like they think. Firstly, it's like, what the fuck are all these
Well,
rabbits? And then
and
they're like, oh, we
also,
can eat.
I do not need to see you killing a rabbit.
Yeah,
Don't need to see it.
I
Don't
think
need to
it's
see
just
it.
one of those shock factor things. It's like when they're throwing the chickens at each other after they come out of the farmhouse. He
Yeah.
literally
No,
eats a chicken. And the
don't
thing
need
is,
to don't need to see that.
I want to make it very clear, they weren't real.
They
Okay,
were
there
not.
is
You could,
a
to be
disclaimer at
honest, you
the
could
end.
clearly fucking tell that it wasn't real. But this is
But
where
they
the
shoot him.
guy, the
Yeah.
elderly caretaker guy, walks in, and they just shoot him. They don't even ask who the fuck are you? Where the fuck did you just come from? What the fuck is going on? Why is the rabbit here? Don't even ask them a goddamn
What the
question.
fuck was that in the
What
other?
was that? Yeah, let's not question the fact that we've just killed a fucking zombie robot. But no, we'll just shoot you instead.
Correct.
Makes perfect fucking sense.
Of course it does. Yeah. And then they sit and question him, and they're trying to find out what's going on, but they don't ask any of the questions we've just said. They're like,
I'm not talking to any fucker who's just shot me.
yeah,
Not a
well,
chance.
yeah, well, he doesn't technically because he turns the subject around because they get Dimitri to interrogate him because Dimitri's like, no, let me do it. I have a better demeanor. Maybe I can get across to him. And so he sits down with the guy and he's like, he holds the rabbit, puts the rabbit down and holds a knife to the rabbit because obviously the rabbits are very precious to this guy. and he's talking to him. And he's like asking, what is this place? That's the question he keeps asking. What is this place? He's not like, what the fuck was that? What the hell's going on? We've just lost our captain. Please, I don't, none of that. And then the servant literally changes the subject and goes, oh, does that camera have a microphone? And he's getting really interested in the camera. And so he completely turns the conversation around, and then because it's Dimitri, and Dimitri's the cameraman, and he's like, oh yeah, he's getting excited. He starts to get kind of like, oh yeah, that's the camera, blah, blah, blah. And they start sort of finding this strange common ground at the same time. It's very weird. And then I think Vasily gets really annoyed and snaps them back into.
Yeah, that's right. Into normality, kind of.
Yeah.
He does say that the village is completely abandoned because the zombie, whatever they are, or the creatures which was created by the Doctor, is basically taken over. But yeah, Vasily does become very impatient and cuts his finger off.
Which was very kind of him.
I mean, that just shot him.
He could have just stuck his finger in the leg wound or something. He didn't really need to cut his finger off as well, but war.
Yeah. Well, he gets his own back
Oh.
because he does get his own back in the end because he
leads. He says he can lead them out. Now, would you believe someone you've just shot and cut his finger off? Oh, I can take you out of here. I'm sorry, I know where the door is. I'll just go back out the way I come. Thanks. See you later. You're not that far into the maze.
No, you're really not. But what he's going to do is send you further into it because he sets them up in a trap where there's a shit ton of zombots about.
Correct.
Ha ha, you fools.
Yeah, it does. This is where they come into this weird open section with like platforms and stuff. And
this is where it was very video gamey.
Yeah, and you got Alexei up the top looking through the window and like putting his gun out the window, and then you can see all the guys like dotted around. And then this is where I think this is where you're introduced to the Iron Maiden one, whatever that one was called, because that takes old Lockstock Cockney Russian and crushes his helmet into his head.
Yeah.
And he drops to the floor, and then they turn around, and then there's the driller killer mosquito man like peering down after he's just shish kebabbed Alexei from upstairs, and he's proper like gone through him. And this is where you go, what the fuck is that? This is this is where your brain just goes, how does someone think of that?
Yeah.
Because you don't see it in its entirety. You see the on a mosquito you have like a weird nose, but he'd turn that into a drill, and it had a Nazi gas mask on, and it was wearing a Nazi uniform at the same time. It's a good job we don't do any monetization on this channel, because otherwise we would have been very much struck off of the amounts of time we said schmaltzy in this. So, but yeah, he comes down the stairs, and it's like that moment, like you say, in video games, where this is where it gets a bit video gamey, because you look, it's not there. You look, it's not there. It's not there. It's not there. Oh fuck, it's there. And it's like, it's that whole jump scary thing that they do so well. But there's no way that fucking thing could have been stealth as it was, because that was
clunky as shit.
If I say to you, what was the far as a Return to Oz?
Oh shit! Yeah, the wheels. Them. Yeah.
It gave that, but
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, yes. Now that flying monkeys on wheels, was that it?
It was the big. Yeah, I can't remember what they were called, but those big things. I'm so sure someone will tell us. But yeah, it gave off that, and I was just like, that's insane. You could see it's a guy on the leg stilts and the arm stilts. You could see that's what it was, but it was just so messed up that your brain's going,
what the fuck?
Okay. And then, so that's 2 dead. Alexi's gone and Ivan's gone at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, if I'm right, they start to get attacked by a load more, but then they find a bunch of Germans in a cupboard.
Yeah, they do. And yeah, they do. And this is where I don't exactly know what they were doing with the kids. By the way, where the fuck were they putting them? Because that was weird.
I think they wanted him to see what was going down, because you could hear noises down that chute, and I think they were putting him down there to see.
Oh, that's right. And then yeah, he clearly wasn't coming fucking back from that. Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
No, even he knew that.
Yeah,
Wasn't it weird? Did you not find it weird when and I know it shouldn't, because it's it's just no in German. But when he was shouting 9, it was like there was no urgency in it.
He was like,
Like,
nah.
no, 9, 9, 9, 9. But not no, motherfucker, no.
Probably some kid they found on the street.
Yeah, it's just the
pretended to-
urgency. I was like, if someone's got me by my feet, being dangled into the unknown, you sure as shit ain't gonna get a 9. 9, no.
I just think Rammstein now, so that's like 9.
No.
Du hast. Du hast. Yeah, this is where it starts to get a bit odd because you find grandpa, daughter, and what I think is son. Son gets pulled in half after he's been stuck down a laundry chute.
Aye.
The daughter is then she keeps
She's
saying
a
she's
nurse.
nurse, so she's going to help them. So then they say, "Oh, well, look after our friend," and they're talking about Ivan at this point because Ivan's talking, but his helmet is completely like squashed into his face where the Iron Maiden thing squished it. It's this next bit where she's going, right, they're like, can we take the helmet off? How do we, we need to help. And she pulls off the helmet and looks inside. There's an entire brain and a brainstem. She manages, I mean, how strong this woman is, I do not know, but she manages to pull his entire brain out of his head.
Yeah.
And some of the spinal cord.
That must be a feat. We all know what happens when a helmet gets crushed. If you've watched The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, we all know what happens when a helmet gets crushed on a person and you take it off.
I've only watched the first episode.
Enjoy.
Yes, Lionel Baratheon is
my god. Honestly, if Stannis had anything like what Lionel had in personality, he would have won me over in a heartbeat. That man is a god.
It's just how nice he is with
it gets better
with Dunk, and he's just like, why are you here? He's like, I don't know. He's like,
honestly, you're gonna love their friendship and you're gonna love him, and he's just amazing. And the stag hole, oh my god, yeah. And doesn't he look like Oscar Isaac a bit?
Yes, I kept trying to place him and I couldn't because I couldn't get past that. Yeah. But I've got to say, I'm gonna obviously by the time this comes out on Monday, I would have done Aberdeen, but I've got Aberdeen this weekend, so I won't be catching up till like Monday, Tuesday. So same with the Pit and all that, all my other many programs.
Well, that's good to know because new episodes out on Friday. So yeah, it's a good note. But yeah, you're gonna enjoy it. Did you not love the first episode where you thought where the Game of Thrones music was just about to kick in and it didn't?
No, because he decided to shit himself.
I thought it was amazing. I thought, what a way to take a massive dump on that whole song. Yeah, loved it. Anyways, clever. Zombots.
Yeah, they pull the brain out of the helmet and then they're all like, and then they all move on really, really quickly. So Ivan was just a flash in the pan to them.
They couldn't give two fucks about him.
And then a load more come out of nowhere. And this is where I think we're introduced to propeller-head. And so basically it's a engine propeller from some sort of aircraft that's been fused to a human body that's being operated somehow by reanimation.
I can see him here, and you are absolutely 100% right. But yeah, I don't know how he's. The article says, "Look at this guy! It's literally just a dude with an airplane propeller instead of a head."
Correct. And then somehow he catches fire. I can't remember if they set him on fire.
No, I can't remember. Honestly, this whole party was very chaotic to me.
There was a lot going on. This is what I mean by some of these scenes. There's just so much going on, and you've got all these other lobster monsters and tentacle monsters in the background that are the lesser monsters that are fighting the other guys in the company, and it just starts getting a little bit what, and you don't know where to look.
No, but they get out the catacombs at this point.
Yeah, and then I think at this point something happens with Dimitri where they find out he's a shitbird.
Yeah, he's been deceiving them by jamming the radio to block contact with high command and transmit a fake distress call they received.
Yeah.
So it's revealed that Dimitri is on a secret mission from the Soviet government to capture or kill the Nazi scientists who created the Zombots. So he knew all about it.
Yeah, so it's Stalin, wasn't it, that sent him on this Joseph Stalin sent him on this mission to find him because they wanted to recruit.
They'll want to recruit him.
They wanted to recruit Victor, I think. Like it's hard to tell because it gets a bit like we say, it's chaotic and there are so many plot holes and it's absolute nonsense really at the heart of it. But he sits there and they've had it. Sergei's been a really nice bloke up until this point, but even he lost it with him. And all three, him, Sasha, and Vasily, who are left, threw Dmitri down this body chute and just left him down there and threw his bag down there with him.
Yeah.
And then you hear Dmitri confessing to the camera. I think it's here or on the stairs where he says, "They've got my parents, they've got my family. I have to do this to get my family back."
That's right. They also find out that he's actually higher ranked than they are.
Yeah.
So they can't kill him. They can't kill him, but yeah, something to do with families as well and retribution and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so that's the gist of it is if he brings back Victor, like his head or his body or him alive, then he'll be his family will get released to him and all this sort of stuff. So so he goes down this body chute and he's confessing and all this sort of stuff. And then you just see the back end of some monster just take his backpack and leave him in there and he follows this monster and I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, like you would. Off he
As
trots.
you would, as you do.
And this monster sort of leads him up into these sets of rooms, which you can hear music playing, and you're like, okay, this is somebody's quarters kind of.
I loved this scene, by the way. Just this whole setup was beautifully shot.
It was well done, and they made it look like it is like a bunker, but it's not, and it's like
you can tell there's nothing behind the wall.
Yeah, there's natural light in there, but you can't really, not in the first room. In the second room there is, so you sort of get these different feels with the room. So the first room, I think it's supposed to be like his sitting room in his office, and he's got like all these keepsakes that from all around. Like you can tell they're from people. They're not his. This is stuff he's stolen or acquired through killing people. And then it turns into this glass cabinet in the middle, and you look down and you see Lee Francis. You see the teddy bear sewn to the woman's head, and it's like,
oh, so give me Night of the Living Dead vibes.
It apparently that is Victor's mother. Yeah, you don't get any backstory about that whatsoever, but that if you look at some of the facts that come up, they consistently repeat that the head fused to the teddy bear's body that's being kept alive in the glass box is Victor's mother.
How much did he hate his mum?
Oh, loads, because he killed his own father. He confesses to it later, doesn't he? So it's like
touch it to a teddy bear.
He doesn't want to
lose.
Oh
my god!
Attachment thing, isn't it?
Happy Mother's Day.
Victor literally pops his head around the corner. He's like, "Cooey, come in, have something to eat. Sit down, have some dinner."
Oh my god, I hated this scene so much. I really, really did not like this scene. Force feeding someone to eat and the gurgling and the swallow.
Yeah,
no,
and
don't like
basically, this room is very clinical. It's very white and very sort of like white tiled and that, and it's a kitchen setup, and you see all this like stew cooking on the thing, and you know it's not. You're like, yeah, that's people. And they force feed Dmitri because he wants him to be big and strong because he needs him to document his journey. At this point, you can hear in the background aircrafts and
you can hear all sorts. It's just a lot of mechanical noises around.
Yeah, but it's not very prevalent. You can tell there's something going on outside, and all you hear is Dmitri saying, "They're coming to get you, Mother Russia are coming. You just have to make a deal and think about coming with me and all this sort of stuff." And he's like, "No, I'll think about it, but I need you to document what's going on here."
Yeah.
So,
well, it's revealed that he is the descendant of Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah,
is the descendant of Victor Frankenstein.
Yep, it's got the family shield and everything in the room, hasn't it?
Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's a weird one when it comes like when he takes him out of there and into what we call the factory,
the laboratory factory.
With all
and I
hanging bodies.
fucking loved this. Loved being in this environment, and especially when he's explaining his work, and like Dimitri's like, "You're a genius."
He knows exactly what to say to him to appease his ego and to try and get him on side. And because he's a snake at this point. We all know that
Yeah.
Dimitri's got nefarious purposes going on, but it's the way he's trying to butter him up, and he's like, "Tell me more about this, and tell me
Yeah.
about that, and how did you get here?" And this is where you get to see the fact that the three of them got captured. Sasha, Vasily, and Sergei, they all
Yeah.
got captured. So you see Sasha in a dead bin.
Yeah.
He wheels Vasily in on this weird old cart, like World War One sort of body cart thing, and then you
Yeah.
see Sergei is pinned to a bed at this
Yeah.
point.
And doesn't he give Dimitri the option to kill one? One of them
Yes.
will be dead, the other one will be alive.
And he said, "Who's the better soldier?" or wasn't it, or something like that.
Uh-huh.
He was asking him, "Who's the better soldier? You tell me." And then he literally stabs Vasily in the chest with this black stuff. But this is where you get the bride.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
A very strange version of Frankenstein.
Beautiful looking.
Yeah, and I want to say it was so well done, so well
Mhm.
done, because it's a nod. Not if you're not looking for it, you won't know it's there. If you're not someone who's a fay with the movies, the original
Yeah.
movies, you've got a rough idea. She's bandaged up. She's got the big hair, but it goes into kind of like a Star Wars kind of situation.
Honestly, I love the look of it. You could like obviously as a fan, you can clearly identify straight away it's the
Yeah.
bride, especially with the bandages and everything. But visually, just the makeup of it, the actual work put into it was mwah, chef's kiss.
Yes. They have her like a nurse, don't they? Because she's nursing, she's like
Yeah.
sort of going around and checking everything. And at this point, he's just killed Vasily. So Vasily's dead. You think Sasha's dead because he's in the dead bin. And then you've got Sergei left. And he's like, right, I'm going to do something with him. So the next it switches to him and the camera, and he's filming this other German soldier in the chair. And you see Victor cutting the top of the skull off, and then he starts poking in his brain, in the other guy's brain, and he's like, "This is no good. There's too much of this, like you said. There's not enough of
Mhm.
this. I don't like this." And he gets rid of him, and he does it to Sergei. He cuts the top of Sergei's heads off, and it's this next bit, where he's got the pick, the dental tool, and he's in the middle of the brain. He's going, "See, this is the Nazi part, and this is the
This,
good part," and he's like,
no,
tapping
no,
them.
this is the what is the word? Communist.
Yeah, that's
That was
it.
it because he didn't ask who was the better soldier. He asked who was the better communist.
That's it. Yeah.
That was it. And then I love this where he mashes the two sides together, and then all of a sudden just goes, oh, there's a little bit in here that just needs to be taken out. There's too much in here, too much in here. That looked unreal.
It was very, very well done, and
Really well done.
it reminded me a bit of Hannibal,
Oh, yeah,
Ray Liotta,
Ray
with that
Liotta,
whole
yeah.
like that situation. But I would say this was done a little bit better.
The brain looked like a brain.
Yeah, and when he pulled that like stringy bit of brain out, I was like, oh,
See, you think Ray Liotta, I think Marlon Wayans in Scary Movie 2.
yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, son. Yeah, it's and then I think it swaps again to he's just sewn his cranium back on,
Yeah.
and we are looking at Frankenstein now, the monster.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
are looking at the monster, and you're like, he was the best choice out of all the guys. When you actually analyze who would have ended up as Frankenstein's
Yeah.
monster, Sergei was the best version of all the guys to end up, because he looked the way, which I don't think we got to see enough of, which is a little bit of a bugbear of mine, how they'd mimicked but Karloff had the staples.
Yeah. That's right.
And this guy had like big twine.
Yeah. I
Because
liked
everything,
it was a change.
yeah, and I just would have liked to have seen it a bit closer, like a bit more.
All right.
And you see him reanimate Sergei, and like the sheer pain that Sergei's in, like from being reanimated. But at this point, you're hearing like more louder bombs being dropped and aircraft, and it sounds like it's very, very near. And Dimitri's like, "You need to make your decision. Are you coming with me? What are you doing?" And you see, I think this is where it sort of cuts out again. Something happens to Dimitri, like one of the beasts bonk him on the head or something to
Mhm.
knock him out, don't they? Because next thing you know, he's on the table,
Yeah, and he's like, I thought we had a deal.
and he's
Fuck
like,
no.
no, why would I want to do that? I just
Yeah.
want this. And like you see Victor like doing his thing, trying to he puts the cine camera on Dimitri's stomach and he's like, oh, maybe I'll make this part of you. I'll put it in your head and use it as your eye. And I was thinking Cenobite.
Yeah.
That's when my brain was like, Cenobite, we're going
Yeah.
there, are we?
Let's do
And
this.
yeah, I was like, go on. And then it turns around and he goes, oh, I haven't got time because he hears a big bomb go off in the background. And then all you've got is Sergei moaning in the back, rolling around on the floor. And the bride's just aimlessly walking around like some of the other guys at this point because they all answer. Victor makes it very, very clear they all answer to him.
Yeah.
And he killed his father because his father thought he was insane and had him
Mhm.
committed. And he was like, so I killed him, as you do. I
As you
think
do.
he turned him into one of these things, but
I just
you don't
yeah,
get,
you don't get
yeah.
to see it. But while he's he gets shot here, doesn't he? Just comes out of nowhere. I thought, what a piss poor ending for him.
Yeah, how Sasha just creeps around the corner and bops him.
Done. Like, duh.
Yeah, but I did like the fact that Sasha pretended to play dead,
Yeah, that's right.
crept round the
And
corner, shot him, cut his head off, left Dimitri for dead.
yeah, yeah, and I like the fact I didn't get it to. I like the fact that it was just stabbing noises and not cutting noises when it
Yeah,
came to cutting the head off. Because there's a lot of there's a lot of things in this that you don't necessarily see.
yeah,
It's implied,
yeah.
you know it's happening, but you don't necessarily see it. And I appreciate so much not seeing someone's head getting cut off.
Well, I think the thing is about that as well is there's so much going on as it is. Your brain picks and chooses what it's paying attention to.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
that's
think
true.
a beheading scene on top of all of this other stuff that's going on, you've only just seen two craniums be cut off. You don't need to be seeing an
No,
entire head
you
come off
don't.
at that point.
You don't. And Dimitri is pleading with Sasha to like save me, and he's like, "Fuck no." Um, but then, what'd you call him? What'd you call him?
What Sasha? He goes and finds
Sasha
stuff.
goes.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, Sasha's like, "Well, hey, I've just pleased the boss.
yeah.
Got this fucker's head. I'm out of here." And the documentation takes the camera, fucks off. But just before that, who goes to bite Dimitri's face off?
Is it Sergei?
It must be.
Yeah, I want to say Sergei goes to jump on him and does something to him, and
It
then
is. It's Sergey. Yes, it's Sergey. And you don't see it happening. You just see the like,
Mm.
oh no, eat your face off. But yeah. So you see that, and then you see Sasha just, and this what really confuses because I didn't see Sasha at all. I thought he got the head and just went.
Yeah,
I didn't see him come back for the camera.
yeah.
So I was like, who the fuck's got the camera?
You see him take it, and then next thing you see is a picture of him, like, well, kind of like a paraphernalia, like a bit of
Well, yeah,
oh, what's it called?
propaganda.
Propaganda. Thank you. Next to Stalin, and it's like that's the end, and you hear
Yeah,
the Russian army song, and it's like, okay, so the underdog won after all.
yeah.
Like Sasha was the one they all thought was useless, and they kept giving him shit jobs because he wouldn't do anything right, and he kept messing up. But clearly,
He's the one who won in the end.
he was the cleverest for sure.
So that was the plot. Um, honestly, I didn't know what to expect from it. I went in quite okay. Let's see what this is about. The minute I noticed the makeup and visual effects and the special effects, I was like, oh, okay, I get this now. I get why she's picked this. It's not because we have constantly done a string of Frankensteins over the last few months.
Few months.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I got it. And just visually, it's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. It's shot really well. You could have gotten away with not saying it was found footage if you really wanted to, or you could use the fact that it's found footage. It's entirely how you want to take it. I think I think this movie's really special. I think that's the right word to use, is special.
Well, the provenance of the people that worked on this film on the special effects are they're quite big considering.
Mm.
You've got now, bear with me, Corolla Brokoff. I think it's Brokoff. worked on all three of the Lord of the Rings movies and the
Oh,
original Hobbit. I say the original of the
oh, so they're
trilogy.
working with Weta Studios,
So
right?
yeah, and then we go on to the makeup, which was Thomas Kutcher, who worked on Blade 2, Solomon
Nice.
Kane, and the remake of The Omen that came out recently.
Hmm.
Yeah, but did
Least
all
we
the
say
special
about that, the
effects on
better.
that as well. But yeah, there's provenance there. So they're people, and like
No,
I say,
hey, the work done on Charles Dance on um the first one, I don't know what it's called.
yeah.
That one is some spectacular work, even if it is a complete reimagination. I don't want to get into it.
So yeah, it's just one of those things where you start looking into it and the provenance of the people that worked on the film, and it's like, Jesus Christ, these
Yeah,
people know what they're doing.
yeah.
It's just, I feel like the limited budget worked in the favor for the very limited set you had, because if you'd have made that bigger, it would have just gone on for hours.
It
I
would
feel.
have, and it would have taken away so much beauty that they managed to create in that small space.
Yeah, I just
So
think
much.
if there was one, I mean, apart from the Cockney Russian and the Welsh Russian, I think for me the biggest bugbear I have is just how chaotic the fight scenes were. You couldn't,
It was too much. It was,
yeah,
yeah, it was, there was a lot going on. It was very, your eyes were like, whoa, where do I look? Where do I look? But apart from that, so much potential, so much, and it wasn't a case of, oh, I saw what they were trying to do there.
yeah,
You could clearly see what they were doing there.
yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't mind it. But what did the people think? Did you do the 1-star reviews?
I did. Right. This
Go.
first one is from Rotten Tomatoes, and it's 1.5 stars or whatever we're calling it on there from the people, not the critics. This was left on the 4th of May 2014, so a year after it was made. I love a good evil over the top Nazi film as much as the next person, but I thought this was meh. The monsters in it were slow and stupid and looked more like something from a Marilyn Manson video. Not that there's anything wrong with Marilyn Manson, but it just looks silly and pointless. Anyway, I got bored of it well before the end. It's not a patch on Nazis at the centre of the earth or Iron Sky, that's for sure. Jurgen Klopp is as good as the mad scientist, though.
There's nothing wrong with that review in the slightest, apart from one sentence.
Oh, there's nothing
Marilyn
wrong with
Manson.
Marilyn Manson.
There's nothing wrong with Marilyn Manson.
You got to remember this is 2014,
Yeah,
so
that's right. I get what he means though, but
yeah.
that bit, just take that bit out, and that was a really good review because he's not completely going in just going, oh, well, that was shit. He's
Uh-huh.
like, he's given some like background to it.
My favourite
What?
bit with Jurgen Klopp is as good as a mad scientist, though, because he actually really does look like. I'm not even someone who knows football very well, but I know what Jurgen Klopp looks like, and that dude does look like Jurgen Klopp.
I don't know how this is going to. Oh, you've got another one. Shit. Yeah, there's two.
Well, the second one comes from Letterbox, and it's 0.5 star,
Right.
and it's from Jack Raid 04, and it was left on the 4th of November 2023. So this is from
Oh, okay.
current. So this is 10 years after it was made. Very simple, 3 words: Nazi Bioshock cosplay.
Oh, get it. Totally, totally get it. Got Bioshock vibes all the way through this.
Yep.
Another game that I have played and not finished. Yeah, yeah, totally get that.
Yeah.
Totally, totally get that one. That was a good one. Right, okay. This is the bit I love the 1-star reviews, but I am so intrigued to know if you managed to do the 666 degrees of Jake off this movie.
Of course I did.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Carol Rodden played Servant/Victor, but most famously is cast as bad guys in pretty much everything. His most famous role was as Rasputin in Guillermo del Toro's 2004 Hellboy.
Oh, okay.
John Hurt played Hellboy's dad, Trevor
Good.
Broom Brittenholm. John has had an illustrious career spanning for decades until he passed in 2017. A few of the movies he starred in are The Elephant Man, V for Vendetta, Skeleton Key, and Alien. Kane is infamous for the chest bursting scene over the dinner table, which was parodied in pop culture by numerous movies and TV, including Spaceballs. John appears as himself, well, Kane, alongside Rick Moranis, John Candy, Bill Pullman, and Joan Rivers as Dot Matrix. Joan was mainly known for her honest and to-the-point interviewing style, but often cameoed as herself in many, many movies, including Serial Mum, starring Matthew Lillard and Ricky Lake. Pussy Willows, Dottie is probably one of my most famous quoted and favourite lines ever said by Beverly Sutphin, aka the one and only Kathleen Turner, who voiced Jessica Rabbit in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, do you know what? Why didn't I see that? I didn't see it coming. Oh, that's a good one. That was such a good one. The fact that you got Joan Rivers in there. I have a funny story with Joan. No, not funny. It's not fucking funny at all because she's dead. But I got tickets to go and see Joan Rivers. I had them for 2 fucking years. A week before I was meant to see her, she died.
How dare she go for a plastic surgery?
Oh,
How dare she?
2 years we had those tickets. That's not it. That's a long time
That is
to
a
be
long
sitting there.
time.
To be sitting there going, I'm going to go and see Joan Rivers. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
No.
Oh, that was good. Honestly, I got so carried away with the whole of Joan Rivers, and then the fact that you referenced Serial Mum. Didn't even see Kathleen Turner coming out of the. Didn't see it. Well done.
I do want to cover Serial Mum at some point because that is a horror movie, and we should because.
And it's John Waters. Let's do this. I'm a huge John Waters fan.
And it is just. Yeah.
I'll do any John Waters film, and I can make it turn into a horror film.
It's got Matt Lillard in it, and everybody loves him right now. So.
Yeah, who doesn't? Well, Quentin Tarantino doesn't, but that's the point.
And his opinion means what?
Fuck all.
Exactly.
Next week.
Yes.
Next week on the Monsters of North podcast. A little bit different. No, it's not different. It actually incorporates the nerdy and the horror.
I'd say so. And I think we are taking some really strange turns, going from body horror to what did we do last week?
Whatever happened to Baby JJ?
Baby JJ.
Yeah.
And then we've now done this one, which is found footage. So we've gone from 60s to found footage to where are we going next?
Brightburn. Bright eyes. No. That's a fucking horror film. No, we're doing James Gunn's 2019 Brightburn, which is a superhero horror film.
Correct. It's a take on Superman, and I do have a thing where I know a lot of people don't like James Gunn, and that's fine. You don't have to.
You do you.
And it was produced by him, and I know his brothers wrote this. I think it's Brian and the other one, not Sean, because there's lots of them.
It's written by Brian and Mark Gunn.
Yeah, that's it. Because I knew they wrote it. James produced it, but he was heavily involved in the making.
And David, what is with the names tonight? David Yarlaxovich, Sky.
Yes. And I know that I loved Slither when that came out as well. So yeah, for me, I am very much in the camp of.
My sister has a very deep love for a lot of James Gunn's early work.
The Trauma stuff.
Yeah, she don't do anything Marvel, but she absolutely adores his earlier work.
Yeah, I think the thing about James is he came from the school of Lloyd Kaufman. So you are getting unpredictability, you're getting humor, you're getting vile horror, disgustingness. He knows how to do it all. And
it's like not taken too seriously, but now he's in the world of corporate, so let's just appreciate the work that he did. And the fact that he did this in the middle of his corporate transitioning, Marvel to then now he's the fucking head of DC Studios.
Another one of his films I really would love us to do is the Belko Experiment. Because that David Dasmachian, Michael Rooker, Sean Gunn, you got
the list of
Dr.
legends.
Dr. Cox from
I love that guy. Love that guy.
It is. I really like it. It came out at the same time as Mayhem, so the two films get a lot of crossover. And Mayhem was Stephen Walking Dead, Stephen Yeun, and oh god, her that is related to Hugo weaving. Samara weaving.
Samara weaving. I've just learned a very interesting fact I did not know about James Gunn until this very, very second. I did not know he wrote Dawn of the Dead.
Mhm.
I did not know that. I mean, clearly didn't fucking do this one. But I mean, the Snyder one.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times I heard when I was in Manchester for Harewood HorrorCon how many people love that movie?
Dawn of the Dead.
Snyder's.
Because
just was
Kim,
like, what?
Kim, when I had Kim on, Kim, it's one of Kim's 3 movies she loves to hate.
I know.
So yeah.
I know. I don't get it. I really don't. And it's probably because of my love for George's, masterpiece.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, that's going to be a good one to do next week. It's going to be different. It's going to be interesting. It's always interesting. We always.
And there's lots of grossness, and I should imagine there's a fair bit of factual work in this one because.
Yeah, not like what we've just done because it was absolutely jack shit to talk about. Just apart
So
from
you got what you got and like it.
fucking like it. Right. So it's been Frankenstein's Army. Next week is Brightburn.
Correct.
That's because I'm not looking at it, so it clearly goes out my head when I'm not looking at something. We are available on the Nerdy Up North YouTube channel from 10 o'clock every Monday. The audio for that episode goes out later on in the day. If you hit notification bells on your audio on your YouTube, you'll be notified.
Yep.
The links for Bleeding Marvelous, Monsters Up North are where, Dan?
Down there. We still have the same nails. It's next week. Down there.
Bloody nails. Well, if there's nothing else left to say goodbye, Dan.
Well, that was fucking useless.
Oh, stay spooky, everyone. Bye.